Hi, my name is Namira Salsabila. I'm from the class 3326807 and my name is 332200069. And this is classroom management final project. First is teaching tolerance. Definition: teaching tolerance is an organization and approach focused on helping educators foster inclusive, respectful, and equitable learning environments. Its mission is to reduce prejudice, discrimination, and hate through educational initiatives, resources, and provisional development that promote diversity and social justice. Strategies is be culturally competent classroom agreements, a crumple smile, touch, teach through tasks where all unique facilities facilitate critical conversation. Example like students create posters the depicting their identities and display them in the class. Helping students handle anger, frustrations, and aggressions. Helping students cope with anger, frustrations, and aggressive behavior means guiding them to understand their emotions and respond in healthy ways. It involves more than just managing outbursts. It includes teaching students how to recognize their feelings, communicate them appropriately, and deal with challenges without hurting themselves or others. Teachings play a key role by creating a safe and predictable classroom environment, modeling calm behavior, and providing tools that help students stay in control when they are overwhelmed. 7 expert tips to help students experiencing strong emotions. First, identify the emotions. Second is identify the causes or triggers for their emotions. Third, validate their emotions. Fourth, talk and listen. Fifth, space and time. Sixth, co-regulate. Seventh, model good behaviors. Strategies is identify triggers and reactions, teach. And second is teach coping skills. Third, encourage verbal expressions. And last is practice problem solving. Disruptive behavior. Disruptive behavior includes behaviors such as excessive nose talking out of turn and in attentions that interfere with teaching and learning in the classroom. Addressing these behaviors and fostering a healthy learning environment require the use of effective classroom management techniques, such as preemptive measures and unambiguous expectations. Strategies for managing disruptive behavior is the first is preventions, establish clear expectations, foster positive relationship, engage students actively. And the second is intervention. Address behavior promptly and calmly, redirect attention, provide coping tools, communicate individually, and document indicate incidents. And third is support. Collaborate with parents, guardians, seek of support from school staff. Refer to a resource. By understanding the nature of disruptive behavior, implementing proactive strategies, and providing appropriate peer support, educator can create a more positive and productive learning environment for all students. And the part two is solving the problem. Problem one is Mrs. Johnson is fifth grade teacher who has been teaching for over 10 years. This year, she has student named Alex who frequently displays, often interrupts lessons, talk back, talks back to the teacher, and sometimes even becomes physically aggressive toward his classmate. Mrs. Johnson has tried various strategies to manage Alex's behavior, such as setting clear rules and consequences positive, reinforcement for good behavior, and speaking with Alex privately to understand the root of his aggressions. However, despite her efforts, Alex's behavior has not improved significantly. Question is, what classroom management techniques can Mrs. Johnson implement to address Alex's aggressive behavior? Provide at least three specific strategies and explain how one could help improve situation. Addressing aggressive behavior. Strategies implement behavior interventions plan. How it helps. A BIP involves in identifying triggers for Alex, aggression, setting measurable behavior goals, and using targeted interventions like breaks, rewards for self-regulations. The structured approach enforces consistency and helps Alex develop coping strategies. Strategy two is touch and Strategy two is teach and reinforce social emotional skills. How it helps explicitly teaching anger and management techniques like deep breathing, counting to 10, and conflict resolution skills can improve Alex to respond appropriately. Role-playing scenarios and praising positive interactions can reinforce the skills. Strategy 3. Collaborate with support staff and parents. How it helps. Involving a school counselor, psychologists, or Alex parents can provide insight into underlying issues, trauma, ADHD, and create a unified approach. Regular checks ins and sure everyone is aligned on strategies. Problem 2. Mr. Smith is a 7th grade math teacher who has noticed that several students in his class frequently engage in off-task behavior during lessons. These students often daydream, that chat with classmates, or use their phones instead of focusing on their work. Despite Mr. Smith's attempts to direct their attentions and provide engaging activities, the problem persists. This off-task behavior is disrupting the learning environment and affecting the overall performance of the class. What strategies can Mr. Smith use to increase on-task behavior or decrease off-task behavior? Reducing off-task behavior, Mr. Smith class strategy. First strategy is use proximity and nonverbal cues. How it helps? Moving near off-task students or using subtle signal like eye contact, a hand gesture can redirect behavior without disrupting the lesson. This minimizes attention seeking and keeps the flow of instruction. Our instruction. Second strategy is incorporate active learning strategies. How it helps. Switching from lectures to hand-on activities like group problem solving, interactive tech tools, increase engagement when students are actively participating. They're less likely to daydream or doubt. Strategy 3. Implement a token economy system. How it helps. Rewarding on task behavior with points or tokens. Redeemable for privileges. Motivates students to stay focused, clear expectation, and immediate feedback. Reinforce positive habits. Problem 3. Mr. Brown is an eighth-grade English teacher who is fast. Miss Brown is an eighth-grade English teacher who is facing challenges with students named Jake. Jake frequently exhibits disruptive behavior in class, such as talking out of turn, making inappropriate comments, and distracting other students. Despite Miss Brown attempts to manage the behavior through verbal warning and sitting changes, Jake's behavior has not improved. This disruptive behavior is affecting the learning environment and making it difficult for other students to concentrate on their work. Question is what specific strategies can Ms. Brown implement to manage Jake's disruptor behavior? Managing Jake's disruptor behavior is strategy. The first strategy is establish clear, consistent consequences. How it helps instead of vague warnings, use step-by-step system like first offense private demander, second is loss of privilege, the third is parent contact. Consistency reduces testing of limits. The second strategy is provide structured choices. How it helps. Over-inject controlled options like you can cook you can work independently or with me. What's your choice? Gives him a sense of autonomy while keeping him accountable. The third strategy is build a positive relationship. How it helps. Spending first time with Jake to discuss interests or challenges can uncover root causes like seeking attentions, academic struggles, showing genuine care may reduce defiance. Thank you. That is presentation from me.